Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Deader Dudes Scary Story Tales. Tonight's installment, as we celebrate St. Valentine's Day, is a special Bloody Valentine story. One of heartfelt, honest to God, 100% true love. Titled, I Will Die For You. As some of you might know, the true St. Valentine story is not a happy ending one. It is sad. But true love may traverse those that bound us to this earth. And for Cecilia, that truth is nearly 100 years old. Taken from her was a true love, a soldier in the army, in a most callous act of treachery of his own battalion, a battalion riddled with fear, selfishness, and lack of what make one a soldier. Lack of courage, conviction, honesty, nobility. She vowed to hunt down every descendant of that treacherous battalion, should any slip her grasp. Along the way in her endeavor, she surpassed wanting vengeance and wanted her dear beloved Frederick back. And call it coincidence, call it timing, call it fate. She crossed paths with a witch who can morph into a warlock, into a crow, into a white deer, and back into the witch. The witch warned Celia, there is a price to pay. It is steep. Eternal love on this earth in mortal form is not obtainable. But if you're willing, you may bring Frederick back. So when the terms were laid out, and Cecilia agreed without hesitation, she ventured on an over 100-year endeavor to assume parts that will make a whole. These parts were specific and obviously tied to the bloodlines of anyone who had crossed her dear departed Frederick. To accomplish such a goal, the witch did bestow upon Cecilia everlasting, although only until the covenant is fulfilled, beauty. Cecilia walked this earth without aging a day over the tender, attractive looks of a young 19-year-old. And so the last surviving member of the bloodletting was a young man, accomplished, smart, strong, married, but scoping the dating apps for a little piece on the side. Unfortunately for Victor, she happened to browse upon the page of Cecilia Cecilia, in truth, really was looking for Victor. They had walked into the middle of the forest, into a clearing with a tent on February 14th, Valentine's Day. This being their third date, Victor had thought Cecilia and him can seal the deal and go past third base, and he would have his fill. He had to do it quickly, as he had Valentine's plans with his wife later that evening. As she teased, caressed, and managed to get Victor in a subdued, naked, prostrated pose, doing her bidding in some weird, submissive roleplay. He allowed himself to be shackled and chained to a tree. And Cecile walked away. This wasn't funny after 5-10 minutes. And the scenery started to get darker. It was February in the Northeast United States. It's very cold now. This is truly not funny. And there approached a stark shadow, hovering him. And within seconds was right on top of him. He cried out for Celia, help me, what is this? This is not fun. What in the name is this? And then out of nowhere, Cecilia appeared to his right in all black garb. All you could see was her beady red eyes. But as he looked closer, Cecilia looked very much the 125-year-old demon that she was. But she had the strength of 10 men, and she bludgeoned Victor mercilessly from head to toe, sparing the man parts and his heart. The heart was the last organ to fulfill the reassembling of Victor. As she fulfilled her part, unearthed were a stitched, Frankenstein-looking conglomerate of rotting organs and flesh and bone, stuffed into the skeletal remains of her beloved Victor. Here, as the incantations flew and the skies darkened, the evil witch, warlock, entity breathed life into this rotting, stitch patchwork, a monstrosity. Within minutes, Victor rose from the dead. Not recognizably so, but the atrocity that had been sown from dozens of victims. the Dark Lord called out that it is now Cecile's last turn, the last missing ingredient to fulfill her wish. The abomination that is Victor must feed. And there she dropped her robe and allowed Victor to feed. There is an ironic twist to giving it all that we want to our loved one. And here, much like in everyday life, you give everything. For Cecilia, I literally will die for you. Happy Valentine's Day, one and all. Good night.